The day is finally here, or well, night in this case. The Switch 2 has released, and this is everything I've picked up, at least initially. I actually have a couple of things I ordered that just aren't quite ready yet, but for now, there is of course the Switch 2 system itself, the brand new Pro Controller, which I want to compare to the original one, as well as all the third-party ones that I like, the Joy-Con wheels to use with Mario Kart World, which I also have right here. One thing I want to note, I was able to get the bundle if I wanted, but I wanted a physical copy of Mario Kart World. With how many game key cards are going on right now with Switch 2, I just want to grab what physicals I can that are actually physicals, so made sure to secure this. And then the official Switch 2 camera. The only thing I had pre-ordered for picking up tonight that wasn't quite ready yet is I also grabbed the camera from Hori, that's the Piranha Plant design. I can't imagine the actual image out of that thing is gonna look great, but the Piranha Plant idea is cute and I just really wanna compare how it actually works compared to the other one. So that'll come down the line, but for now, here's everything I have to open. And let's start with the Pro Controller. Thing I didn't think about is some of these do have sticker seals. Do we have a little pocket knife somewhere? If not, just give me a moment. Got a little charge cable for it, and there's the new Pro Controller. I really like the finish on this. It almost has like a, what would I call it, like satin? It's a little reflective, but it's not like a metallic or glossy sheen. That's really nice, actually. I didn't realize, that didn't really translate in the like renders they've shown online or some of the stuff in videos, so I really like the look of this. That little white clash on the top, super clean look. Now, this is overall in concept very similar to the current Pro Controller, or well, the old Pro Controller for the Switch 1. The biggest difference is this now has that C button right there at the bottom, and the addition of some new back buttons. So I'm very excited to actually give that a go. I'm so happy we finally have a first party that put back buttons on their main controller. Let's go ahead and rip open Mario Kart real quick. Yes. I like having cases, and I like having them on my shelf, but especially since we don't really have instruction manuals or anything anymore, it does pain me a little bit how much just empty plastic there is. The back of the cover looks really nice. That's nice little, like, you know, inside design. It's just all that for this little guy right here. So one of the changes with the physical carts is that they are now red instead of black. Apparently, one of the kind of interesting things about the original Switch that's still true with these ones is that they taste bad because they don't want kids eating them. Should I eat it? Well, not eat it, but should I taste it? Okay, here we go. This is for the shorts. Oh, yep. It's like, don't ask me why I know what this tastes like, because I was a dumb kid sometimes. It tastes like a Sharpie. Like if you took a Sharpie marker and just like gave that just a quick little lick, ugh, not good. So don't eat these, but there we go. Get the wheel next, which I can't really do anything with these yet until I open up the Switch itself, but I want to save that for last, so. Okay, and there's two. So we have the blue wheel, and they still call this red because it's neon red, but that's orange. That's just orange. But these are the official ones. I'm sure we're gonna see plenty of third-party cheaper options pop up on the market as well, but yeah, I'm excited to actually put the Joy-Cons in those, so we'll set those aside for now. And then last, let's go ahead and open up the camera, and then we'll get to the system itself. That is smaller than I thought it would be, actually. Like based on what they had shown in some of the videos and like the little trailer for it, I didn't think it was gonna be like huge, but this is actually quite a bit smaller than I thought it was. So this is one of the new things they're really kind of pushing as part of what makes the Switch 2 new, is the camera integration, because you can use it with game chat. There are going to be some games that can also incorporate some special stuff with these, like Mario Kart World, you can show your face over your racer, or there's some special mini games in Mario Party that take advantage of it. So yes, I will have to get this set up as well, but that's not too intrusive. That's pretty small. I still taste the cartridge a little bit. That's all the other stuff. Let's finally open the system itself, which thankfully doesn't have any tape. Oh, So this is, I like how this is a little bit more compact. For the original Switch, oftentimes the tablet would be kind of like on its own, and then there'd be another layer for grabbing the Joy-Cons and everything. Here they've got all lined out where the Joy-Cons have this little perpendicular, and wow, this tablet does look bigger in person. Oh man. Like, I knew this was larger than the current Switch, but that is significant looking. Oh, I do love how much the bezel's also just a lot smaller. Once it's on, I mean, I can see where the edges would be once it's turned on, but that's still better. And then the Joy-Cons. So these are the new 2s, and now these don't slide into the Switch 2 like they did on the original one. These rely on magnets. And there we go, they're just in there. I don't have to slide or anything. And then pulling it out, there's a little release button still. Super easy. I like that. It's also a better button than what was on the original Switch. The original Switch had the really tiny button on the back of the Joy-Cons. This is a nice good size one that I think is really nice. You basically naturally press it anyways when you grip it. And then the main body for it, we do have the new kickstand. As someone who hated the original Switch's kickstand, this is already so much better. I can feel the tension, so it's not trying to fall apart on me. And way more degrees of flexibility here. So I don't know when you would want to do this, but you know, there you go. Just as flat as it can be without just laying it flat or having it up. Awesome. Let's see what else we got in the box real quick. Okay, so hiding in here is all of our cables. Not too worried about those, although I will take out, these are the new wrist straps for the Joy-Cons. I didn't really use the original Switch's straps much. Like at all. I mean, I mostly use my Switch handheld, so it's not that big of a deal, but which way do these go on? Is this backwards? This is backwards. Come on, this is designed for children. You can figure it out. Okay, there we go. So that's the action. And then do I just pop it off the same way? Yep. All right, so you just slide in there and pop it down. And what's interesting about these is that this is not just an attachment for you being able to have the straps. This is also what adds little buffer pads, so when you want to use it in mouse mode, that's what you're gonna be moving around with. I actually got a chance to go on hands-on with this a little bit before this released. I did a demo event that had the Bravely Default remaster, and I got to do the mini games which use the mouse style controls, so that was a nice little preview. I'm excited to do it a lot more now. And then we don't really need to look at the cables. We're fine on that front. We have the new grip, so we'll try this out with these. Yep, that is certainly a grip. And it feels similar to using the original Switch control grip, which is to say, it's fine. I feel like the grips on these are just always not quite as large as I would like them to be, but it does get the job done if you want to use the Joy-Cons as a traditional controller. I've always been one to very much prefer using the official Pro option instead, and that's probably not changing with this system. And then the last item in the box that I care about. Oh wait, what is this? Oh, that's the power brick. We don't need that. The new dock, which is quite a bit beefier than the original dock. Part of this is because this does actually have a built-in fan, so that is going to keep the system more full. There's the back hatch that we can just take off. And we have the same main ports on the inside as what we were seeing with like the OLED dock, where you have an Ethernet port, the HDMI out, and then, of course, power. On the side here is a pair of USB-A, so that's where we'll plug in any accessories we want to use. And that comes on and off pretty easy. Let's go ahead and assemble this. And there it is in all its majesty. I'm not turning it on yet. I will a little later. The Switch 2 is finally in my hands, and I'm so excited to be able to mess with this system some more. I will say just kind of some immediate hands-on, like literally just holding the system. It absolutely is quite a bit larger than not only the original Switch, but the Switch OLED as well. You can really tell the height. The Joy-Cons still are not the most comfortable thing in the world to me. It's just, it isn't designed to have a proper full grip, and so it's really nice to have options like that, which I might have an accessory to talk about in the next video you don't want to miss in order to get a better experience out of that. But Yeah, much bigger, good heft and weight to it. So I actually have a bunch of my older Switches on hand, so let's go ahead and do a quick size comparison. We have the smallest of them, the Switch Lite. This is the Zelda edition I have on hand. We have the, not the very original Switch, but the red box ones that came out later that look the same but have better battery life and don't get quite as hot. And then of course, my current main go-to, the Switch OLED. So yeah, it is pretty obvious just in the immediate how much bigger the two is. You can even just kind of see the evolution of each one. Because like the OLED and the original, you know, these are basically the same size. The OLED's a tiny bit wider, but that's it. The bigger deal is how they made the screen bigger by getting the bezel smaller. But you compare that to the Switch 2, that is a significant size increase. It's one of those things where like they'll talk about it in presentations and be like, oh, it's this much percentage bigger or this many inches. But actually seeing it in person really drives home how much of an impact that really makes. I remember having that thought when going to the bigger screen size on the OLED versus the original, and even more so now. So I'm gonna go ahead and start this thing up and begin running all kinds of different tests. I'm planning on at least doing a first impressions video, and then I got a whole lot of specific tests I want to run and make videos on, and then a final review. Tons of stuff on the way. So if you don't want to miss out on any of that, make sure to subscribe. If you enjoyed this video, you found it useful, you liked the stuff you saw, hit the thumbs up button as well, and I will see you all very soon with a lot more Switch 2 videos.